nation, no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to LV, I'm a Raider.
Today's news and rumors show is presented by my good friends, Manscaped. I want every single Raiders fan out there to head on over to manscaped.com/Raiders, where you can save 20% off and get free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. Right now, my favorite product is probably the ball toner. One little spritz and your balls, they're smelling for Chucky heads. Raider Nation, what's going on? Raiders Report here by Mitchell Renz, and the biggest story circulating right now is around the Raiders potentially drafting a quarterback. So here's a tweet from Rapoport, and this one came out on April 23rd. It seems like a yearly ritual, but once again, the Raiders did extensive work on all the top quarterbacks. I'm told if one slides past number 10, they could be a team to watch to grab a quarterback and stash for the future. Doubtful that a quarterback gets to 17, but they will have their homework ready. So when I saw this tweet, there's two parts of Rapoport's tweet that I want everyone to really soak in and understand. The first one is this: the Raiders, they could draft a quarterback. Okay, that's fair, because I do agree with this. I don't really think that a quarterback's going to slide to number 17. So with that being said, if you're either going to draft one, and if that's not likely going to happen at 17, then that also means this, that the Raiders could trade up for a quarterback. Now, when I do this show, I try to break everything down and give you my viewpoint, and that's exactly what I'm going to do on today's episode. So get your votes in here. Should the Raiders draft a quarterback in round one? Type Y for yes or type N for no. I know that I have never, ever said this question before ever on today's episode, or really any episode here on the Raiders Report. So get your votes in. Should the Raiders draft a quarterback in round one? Y for yes or N for no. So what are all the topics that we're going to be talking about here? There's going to be 3 quarterbacks that I think the Raiders could draft, because there's a lot of top guys, but there's really only 3 that have this actual chance, I think, of falling to 10 or getting past the first 2 picks. And then who's the most likely quarterback in a crazy scenario that would slide to 17? I'm going to tell you on today's episode. Who is the only quarterback out of those 3 quarterbacks that I would trade up for? And then, will the Raiders draft a quarterback in round one, since that's the big story here on today's episode? And not only will they, but should they? Should they go ahead and make this move? I am telling you what right now, you got to be watching this entire thing, because I'm going to tell you all these answers. So here are the top quarterback prospects in this year's draft. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, those guys are 1 and 2. Then it comes down to Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and Mac Jones. This is how I'm going to rank my top 5 guys. In terms of the NFL draft, here are my prediction, and this is basically everyone out there. Trevor Lawrence is going to go 1. Zach Wilson is going to go 2. And then it could be a little bit of a coin flip who goes number 3, or who could go number 4 or 5. So with that being said, that means this: the only 3 quarterbacks that have a legitimate chance of going to the Raiders, if this report is in fact true, is Justin Fields from Ohio State, Trey Lance from North Dakota State, and then Mac Jones from Alabama. When I really sit down in all the mock drafts that I've done here at Chat Sports, my NFL draft prediction is Lawrence, Wilson. At number 3 is Mac Jones, and then I'm a believer that some other NFL team, they're going to go up and they're going to trade for a quarterback. Whether that's Justin Fields, whether that's Trey Lance, that remains to be seen. That's also a big-time reason why I would be absolutely shocked if a quarterback were to fall to 17, because if 4 are already gone, that means one guy has to slide all the way down to 17. That's just not very likely. Now, if you guys are looking for the best news and rumors around the NFL draft, you're in, well, kind of the right place. Now, this is a company, Raiders Report, is run by another company called Chat Sports. I make a lot of other videos on our main YouTube channel, which you can see at the link below, youtube.com/chatsportstv. But if you want more videos from me, and I also want Raider Nation to be able to show out at the NFL draft and drown out our comments, I want you to go subscribe. Free videos leading up to the draft, and we're going to be live for the entire thing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We get like 60,000 people watching live. Going to be prizes. It's 100% free. Join the party. Subscribe to Chat Sports. Let's get back to Rapoport's tweet here, because basically what I'm just trying to show you is my entire argument of either why they could or why they shouldn't draft a quarterback here. So we're going to be breaking it down, and when you see that the Raiders could trade up for a QB, the question is this: who would be the quarterback that they would trade up for? Because if you're doing extensive research, and if a guy were to slide past number 10, who is the only dude you're going to go up and do it for? It's either between, I think, a Justin Fields, or it's going to be between a guy like Trey Lance, both talented guys, because when I sit there and I say if Lawrence, Wilson, and then Mac Jones are the top three, that means one of these two quarterbacks are the one that the Raiders would trade up for. Now, Trey Lance, he didn't get to play last season because of COVID and Division II football they weren't going about, but I'll tell you, or FCS football, excuse me. However, in his 2019 campaign, 28 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, both of these players are a lot different than Derek Carr for the simple fact of this. They're a little bit more versatile, they can run, and they're that mobile quarterback that a lot of teams are looking for. So here's the question I'm going to hit you with. If in a crazy world, the Raiders do decide to trade up, I want you to pick a quarterback to trade up for. I want you to either type F for Justin Fields or type L for Trey Lance. And remember, this show is about communication, not just seeing a rumor, getting so upset, locking yourself in your closet, and then not doing anything about it. This show is about talking through things. So realistically think about it. F for Justin Fields or L for Trey Lance. The quarterback that I'm going to trade up for, if this does happen, it's going to be Justin Fields. No disrespect to Trey Lance. He's a good prospect, but he's still a lot more raw to me, where Justin Fields is a little bit more complete, a little bit more in terms of higher upside. And if you're going to move on from Derek Carr, because let's face it, if you're drafting a quarterback in round one that you're trading up for, you're moving on from Carr. Maybe not this year, but in the future. The only guy that I think could be better than Carr at this point is probably Justin Fields. But he's got a high ceiling, but he also has kind of a low floor in my opinion. But I don't think trading for a quarterback is, well, very smart thing to do at this current juncture. Derek's not the problem, and he is a good quarterback. He is a top 12 quarterback. However, if you're going to trade up right now, that means you still can't be able to build around your other pieces that we have needs at. So you're going to draft a young guy, not throw him out to the wolves, but then that young quarterback is still going to have an offensive line that might not be fully put together because you're going to have to give up picks to go ahead and get them. Then you still can't build your defense, and then you still don't have a lot of talented pieces around him. That's just not the right thing that this organization should go ahead and do. So let me know down there in those comments, how many Chucky heads on the Raiders drafting a quarterback? If you're new to the show, and you have no idea what I'm talking about here, it's basically this. If you say 4 Chucky heads, it means it's a 100% chance of happening. 3 Chucky heads, 75% chance of happening. 2 Chucky heads, 50-50, people are talking. 1 Chucky head is about 25% chance of happening. 0 Chucky heads means tuck rule, tuck that. This rumor is not going to happen. All right, y'all, before I tell you how likely that this is going to happen, I got to tell you this. You better take care of your Chucky head, or else I can promise you this. Your girl, your wife, she's going to be out the door. She's going to be looking to trade up for somebody else. 20% off and free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. Y'all know that I love and use the Lawnmower 3.0. When you get the perfect package at Manscaped and you use our code, you're also going to get boxers and the traveling case 100% free. And I hinted at the beginning of the show, my new favorite products, the ball toner. Like, how many guys out there use cologne? I mean, every single time I go out, I give myself a spritz. Sometimes put a little bit on your arm. You pat it up. You're all good to go. I'll tell you, you just spray once or twice down there, and you would be amazed on how much better it smells. Plus, if you wear deodorant underneath your arms, wear it on your balls too. If you're honestly going to look at me and tell me you've never sweat down there, I don't believe you. I just simply don't believe you. You're a big liar. Sam looked at me and said he never sweat down there. I think the bigger problem is this. Do you have anything down there? Because if you're not sweating down there, I'm just worried you're looking like a Ken doll. Don't do that. Manscaped.com/Raiders. 20% off and free shipping. I promise y'all, the reason why this is called the perfect package is because after you get done using it, your package will look absolutely perfect. That's for Chucky heads, believe it, baby. All right, so let's get back into the story right here. The Raiders drafting a quarterback in round one. I mean, this one's 0 Chucky heads, tuck rule, tuck that. If you've been a Raiders fan and you've had a poll since they've gone out and basically hired Jon Gruden, you know this. It's the same rumor. It's just a different year. I get it. That a quarterback could fall and maybe you want to go up and trade up for him. I also think it's just the Raiders simply just saying, hey, we could potentially do it, which might motivate some other teams out there to actually think that the Raiders are interested in a quarterback, that which makes other NFL teams trade up either above them or give up too much. I actually think this could also mean the Raiders trying to play their cards right and trade back. Carr, he's going to be the starting quarterback this year and next year. I'm very confident in saying that. And I think the other funny part is like, oh, Gruden, he's a quarterback whisperer. He loves quarterbacks. I mean, you're right. He does. A lot of people love quarterbacks. But then there's this, like, go back to the tape. Like, go back and look at the numbers here. Gruden has never drafted a quarterback in round one. he's never drafted a quarterback in the top 50. So for everyone out there like, oh, they could maybe take somebody at pick 48. Sure, maybe. Certain things happen. But I just don't see it happening. Gruden likes veterans, and that's where I think he sees his football team going. You got a lot of young pieces all around you. You need to have one solid veteran there, and that's what Derek Carr is. So I get that people like talking about it, but you guys can see here, he's literally never drafted a quarterback in round 1. So here's the next question to this, right? Should the Raiders draft a quarterback, D for draft or P for pass? If we're sitting here saying, all right, a lot of these top guys, they're gone in round 1, could you potentially go out and draft a quarterback, I don't know, on day 2? Maybe on day 3, a little bit later on. My personal opinion is this. There is just no need to draft a quarterback this year. Like, I get asked all the time, what about this guy in round 5? What about this guy in round 6? What about this guy in round 7? I mean, no disrespect to those quarterbacks, but you decided to bring back Nathan Peterman for, whatever reason that is, and Gruden likes him a lot, so you're going to have Peterman. And you have Marcus Mariota, who's your QB2, and let's be real, Marcus Mariota is probably the best quarterback option after those top 5 guys you could have as a backup quarterback. And then what else am I trying to do? I'm trying to build a roster. I'm trying to find extra depth pieces. Right now, quarterback is not a glaring need to me, so why am I going to waste a pick on a day 3 quarterback? And all these mock drafts that I do, I've been telling y'all, hey, hit me up here, send me your mocks. The 4 quarterbacks that I always get sent are Jamie Newman, Sam Ehlinger, Felipe Franks, and Ian Book. No disrespect to these 4 guys here, but it would make 0 sense to draft any of them. Why? I don't think Jamie Newman's going to be anything special. I don't think Sam Ehlinger is going to be anything. Felipe Franks, Ian Book, they are good, we'll say like quarterbacks who could probably be QB3s on some NFL rosters, but I'm not going to waste a draft pick on somebody who could be a QB3 for me. And these guys might be nice people, and they might be backup quarterbacks, but I'm sorry. I want no part of them on a Las Vegas Raiders roster. The other reason why I'm confident in saying that is because here we are again talking about moving on from Carr, and all this guy has done, I think, is literally given his heart and soul to this football team. Can he be better? Yes, absolutely he can be. Do I think he will be better going forward? Yes, absolutely. Why? Simple fact is this. He has gotten better every single year underneath Jon Gruden. But if we are talking about a quarterback, my job is this, to be 100% real and realistic with you. If you're going to draft a QB, you don't do it this year. You do it in 2022. Now, we still got to be seeing what the quarterbacks are. I'd like to be able to get more tape on those guys, which we will be able to get this upcoming season. But the reason why you do it in 2022 is because it's the final year of Carr's contract. So basically, this is what happens. And it's a lot like what the Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes and Alex Smith. You bring in a young quarterback. You let him learn the system in that quarterback's final year of that contract. Derek Carr puts him underneath his wing and says, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. That also keeps Derek Carr's trade value up because teams will say, like, okay, like, Carr's still talented. The only reason why the Raiders would move on from him is because they're going to go out and have a rookie. So if you're going to draft a quarterback, you don't do it this year. You do it next year. You still let Derek Carr start in 2022. You put that young rookie underneath Carr's wing, and then you continue to move forward going. Like, that's the way you guys should do it. So we talked a lot of quarterback rumors. We talked a lot about Derek Carr. I saw all this stuff happening over the weekend, and I want to be able to break it all down for you. If you made it this far in the video, please go ahead, like it. It helps us out a lot.